So Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are still going strong. They haven't broken up yet. No breakup songs on the horizon as of yet. And Evie published this article called "The Obsession with the Swift-Kelce Romance is Proof that Chivalry Isn't Dead." And this is because a specific TikTok of Travis Kelce opening a car door for Taylor went viral, with a lot of girls saying, I watched this 100 times. I'm more invested in this relationship than my own.
Us men keep winning. Just the bare minimum makes these ladies happy these days, guys.
And we can't even get
winning.
a text back? Question mark, exclamation point. How about you play this video for us? It's incredibly unremarkable in my opinion.
We can't listen to it because it's got her music here, but here we go. Here he is.
So he pushes the security guard out of the way so he can be the good guy opening the door.
Oh. Well,
helps her out of the car.
It's like, how do you like my fade?
I mean,
he protects her from the vicious paparazzi. They're holding hands.
I would
normal
do the same
stuff.
thing.
Yep.
That's very normal in my opinion.
It's very normal behavior. But
yeah.
Us guys, we just stay winning.
So you wouldn't even elevate this to chivalry.
No,
this is just normal, courteous
That's how look, if you're a dude, if you're a guy, that's how you're supposed to treat women. Like, if you believe that there are differences between men and women, and that like you believe that like dudes should hold the door and like dudes should pay for dinner when if you ask a girl out, like that's normal baseline stuff. Like I actually care about getting a second date kind of shit. Yep. That's basic.
You can get so far ahead just by doing that like bare minimum stuff.
That is the floor. If you want to go
on everyone's like, if this is chivalry, then the bar is in hell.
Exactly. 100%. That is
like
the base bare. If you're a guy and you actually like feminine women and you believe in gender roles and stuff like that, which they're fairly undeniable in my opinion, like that's the bottom rung. That's the very first that's right there with like brush your teeth before you leave and like take a shower. Like that is relationship hygiene
stuff.
Yeah, I mean it's relationship hygiene. The very basic stuff. If you're gonna go and actually try to take someone on a date, that's the bottom of the barrel board, easy. So.
Yeah. So this piece argues that Swifties are expressing their desire for chivalry to come back from the dead and represent itself in the post-Me Too era. It says Taylor Swift might be a self-proclaimed feminist, but it seems like she and her female fans are smitten with her new boyfriend's old-fashioned manners. Swift's female fans are swooning over Kelce's protective, gentlemanly treatment of the superstar on their recent night out. So they're just saying like they never receive this type of baseline bottom of the barrel treatment when they date in the normal world.
You're dating the wrong guys.
Well, is it because Taylor Swift is just like in another echelon that she gets this type of treatment?
So like there might be a touch of class difference. Like if you're like not trying to sound like rude or anything, but if you're a lower class person, maybe things like opening the door, like maybe they don't occur to you, but like as you look at the way that like people from upper middle class and middle class and upper middle class and upper class people, that tends to happen frequently. Like you see that stuff more. Like you don't see a lot of people from like upper middle class or upper class like acting like I don't want to say children, but acting like there aren't differences between men and women.
How does a woman who tells you that men and women aren't different then expect the behavior of something that's you would never do for your male friends?
Yeah, and also like
unless you do that for your bros, I don't know.
Look,
that's cool too.
You open the door for your bros?
If there's a girl that's a 10 and you're like that you think is a 10, do you want to treat her like she's average?
Yeah.
You want to treat her in a way that she wants to be treated, and most likely she wants to be treated like a lady. So you're going to treat her like a lady, and you should know where you're going for dinner too. Like,
There's a $20 super chat here from Gordon Shumway. Says the drive on the left more for fighting a horse mounted with a sword. Most people are right-handed, and striking with a sword is most effective with your opponent to your right. Yeah. There's also the origins of the salute.
Okay.
Listen, for the guys that are watching this, here's the deal. you pick 2 places that you know she likes, and then you tell her, do you want to go here or do you want to go here? Don't say, where do you want to go? Men complain about this all the time. They're like, oh, she'll never tell me where she wants to go. She never picks a place, blah, blah, blah. You pick 2 places. Let her pick one of the 2. That way she has input, but you know that she's going to like either of them, and there's not a big overwhelming problem. I swear to you, if you do this, you can forever forget about she never wants to pick where to go. You narrow it down to 2 places. Let her decide between those 2. You'll both be happy because you're not going to overwhelm her, and you're not going to have to wait forever for her to pick where to go.
Or what you do is you take charge and you just take her to Taco Bell.
No, you take her to Cheesecake Factory.
Yes.
Go to the assembly line.
Don't listen to either of those 2.
I'm kidding.
Don't listen
I'm
to
kidding.
either of those 2.
Take her to Taco Bell, guys.
Listen to me.
Invite her to your house. There are a lot of technologies that have kind of taken away the opportunity for guys to make gentlemanly, chivalrous gestures. Like dating apps kind of remove all of the plausible deniability or any ability to take initiative and go up to someone and ask them out. Like, it's either you're swiping right or left. And then, there's Uber. You don't really have the opportunity to like pick her up or whatever. And
you can still open the door for her when you're leaving. People do that in New York for cabs all the time. You help her get into the cab.
It's very easy to do the small things that women like. Even if you don't have even if you're taking an Uber, you can still open the door for her at an Uber.
Do you call her Uber?
What do you mean? Call the Uber to pick her up?
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest with you, if you know that there's an Uber involved,
Thank you.
Wait, do you remember when the Aziz Ansari story came out and she said that it was like what it was, and he's like, I got her an Uber till when she left, and I've never. You remember that?
No.
Okay.
So he got her an Uber for when she left?
Like when she left, he got her an Uber, and then
what a gentleman.
Yeah, she's like, he assaulted me. He's like, I got you. Like, no.
No, the Uber for leaving is not really is that the question you're asking?
I don't know.
Because the thing I'm thinking is like, it's acceptable for a guy to be like, if you know that she's going to need an Uber, there's no problem with being like, hey, the Uber will be, we already have plans to go out. Hey, your Uber will pick you up at blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. Be ready for then.
Yeah.
If you do that, she'll love it. I guarantee.
And because the bar is in hell, she'll just be swooning because no one would ever do that.
Somebody just needs to make a skit. It's like, he didn't even get me an Uber Black.
You definitely should make sure that it's a decent Uber, but
there's a $20 super chat here from Granticus. Says I use the typical "where do you think I am taking you" in the first answers where we're going. Yeah, I gave that advice last.
How are you going to do that and make reservations? Follow my advice. I promise.
Phil, the dating guru.
Yes, exactly.
These are just small things. This isn't about like scoring with like. This is all basic, simple stuff to impress your date.
This isn't how to impress Taylor Swift. This is how to impress any living, breathing female.
That's a great
Seriously.
skit too. Taylor Swift gets called an Uber when she leaves, like a one-night stand.
I guarantee that the security is standing outside the doorway the entire night. But like seriously,
They hear everything.
I'm sure they do. These aren't hard things. These are simple, small things that like a lot of guys don't think of nowadays.
Why is that? Is it just like fatherlessness or
maybe? I don't know.
What?
I think partially because dudes are expected to think that women are just like dudes without penises now.
Yeah, well,
like
or that they can take care of themselves, and if you say anything to the contrary, you're gonna get in trouble.
Yeah, just like make sure, get her Uber, figure out 2 places that you want to go, and have her pick the last one. Like make the date to come see you and go spend time with you as easy as possible, because she's going to want to get dressed up and look nice, and she's going to be stressing because women are women and they're more neurotic than men. So like take as much off of her plate as you can, and she will look at that as, he is taking care of me. This is so nice. This is great. And it will be like, you'll get a second date.
You could also get Uber
unless
Elevate.
You're like a moron and shove your foot in your mouth.
Uber airplane and helicopter rides. That's a thing. That's a thing too.
Uber elephants.
Maybe you can rent a car from Uber now.
Uber horses.
Uber
horse carriages.
That's good.
Uber
snowmobiles if you're in the Midwest, like trying to go from like We got a $20 super chat here from Joshua French. Says, I seen a reel where I guess he means an Instagram reel. I seen a reel where the guy does the guess where we were going line, and she said Applebee's. So maybe that.
Don't do that.
Why would she guess that?
It all depends on if you want to see her again, you know?
Yep. I like it.
Brett has an anecdotal experience that he's relayed on here before where he got told off for holding the door open for a random woman.
I'm sure that it happens.
And that type of toxic reaction.
To be fair, it was on a college campus.
Okay, that's different.
When it happened.
Different.
So, like, as somebody who just, I'm the guy who doesn't just hold the door, but like, I'm really bad with judging distances, so I'll hold the door for an extended period of time because the person's farther away. Or the more horrifying version is like you judge the distance right, and they're just really slow at walking. And I have no problem with that. That's never bothered me in my entire life. Nor would I have a problem doing that for anyone. Like, in fact, most of the time I'm probably looking at my phone or looking at the ground anyways, and then I look up right before they walk in. I'm not looking to see if it's a guy or a girl who's walking in. But in this story, yes, I held the door for a young lady on a college campus. This is a long time ago, and she says, the next time you want to hold a door for a woman, just remember they can do it themselves or something like that.
You should have literally called her a name.
I mean, I
see
said
you next
like
Tuesday.
I said an interaction like that would give me shower thoughts for the next decade because I would just be thinking of all the best comebacks. One is, oh, I'm sorry, I thought that you were disabled. Yes. Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were a man. Yep. Never mind. Forget I ever did that.
That was so long ago. It was before I realized, because I didn't go to a 4-year college, so I wasn't aware of just how bad feminist messaging had gotten in this country, and it was shocking.
But look, 99.9% of women out there would not react like that. And but it's that type of toxic negative reaction that guys are so afraid of, I think, and they use it as an excuse to just opt out entirely.
Yeah.
I've never had that reaction again, and everybody else is always very polite.
It's okay if you get that reaction. It's like, it's not a reflection on you, it's a reflection on the person. Like, you didn't do wrong by trying to be nice, because the only way that you would even think to hold the door is you want to do something polite, make a nice gesture to the person behind you or whatever. If they take that as an insult, that is them. It is not you. You were right to try and hold the door. Don't let anyone's sour puss, crappy attitude ruin your day.
It did not do that to me. So
chivalry is dead. Feminism killed it, but that doesn't mean that you can't do chivalrous gestures anyway.
Which is why I'm going to end the poll right now, because the chat today, with 76% of the vote, say yes, chivalry should make a comeback. 75%.
That's a positive note.
So that's a good call right there. People want to see chivalry come back. I don't think any of that stuff is a bad thing. So. And if you're holding the door for your bros, let me know. I don't know if that's an actual thing. I asked that earlier. Do you open the door for your bros?
Opening the door for anyone is nice.
I was talking about the car door. Like, do you open the car door for your bros?
No.
There's an Instagram skit to be made out of that too.
No, you lock them in.
So good for them. I do in a way feel bad for the ladies who are looking at this like this is monumental behavior. Like I said, the dudes stay winning when this is like the bare minimum, and they're being complimented for opening a door. And
just like, don't come at it with a defeatist attitude, because I see a man's willingness to make courteous gestures like that as it signals that he doesn't have a paralyzing fear of rejection. Because if a woman rejects your gentlemanly gesture, that says nothing about you, and it says everything about her character. So do it anyway.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just for the value in and of itself. Like, that is how you should act as an adult.
I always considered those things, because those types of manners were ground into me by my family, just the same way that saying please and thank you always was, right? That you need to be grateful when someone does something for you. If someone gives you anytime when I was young, like my dad brought me to most of my hockey practices, because my dad was also a coach. But there were times, like if we were traveling out of town, sometimes you'd travel with like another family or something like that, if your parents couldn't bring you. And when you get back, the first thing my mom would say when I get in the door, it's not, "Hi, Brett, how you doing? Nice to see you. I missed you." It's, "Did you say thank you?" to Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so for giving you a ride? Did you say thank you for letting them stay the night? Those types of things, right? So that type of manners, it also comes back to how you were raised, I think. Like, it's not just society, it's how you were raised by your family, because if those values weren't instilled in you by your parents or by the person that raised you, then that doesn't necessarily mean that it's the failure of feminism or something like that. It just means that your family didn't believe that those were important enough skills to teach you. And what I'm saying is, it doesn't mean that person is blaming feminism for that. They just never understood why they were important.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.